Steven of the Pitbox Podcast. And I'm going to do a series of videos just talking to you guys about my go-kart. I always get so many questions from people who are both into and not into cars about what it's like to drive, how it works. And so I figured I'd take a few minutes just to talk to you guys about how everything goes. Now this is just the first video of many, but don't worry, I got you guys. We'll go through it front to back. So just like a car, a go-kart obviously has a gas and a brake pedal. Now, for some people, it might be kind of odd using your left foot initially to stop the cart because, you know, most of the time, unless it's a specific racing scenario, you wouldn't use your left foot to brake in a car. But after a while, you kind of get used to it. You don't even really start to think about it. And of course, the car has a steering wheel, like your car. And yeah, and when you get over here, you actually have the ability to make multiple alignment adjustments to the cart. So some of the things you can do is change the camber. You can change the toe with the toe arms, of course. You know, literally you just have to unscrew it and, you know, you're able to change the toe. You're also able to change the caster, and you can also change the ride height. You'll see there's spacers in there that allows you to lower and raise the height of the cart. And of course you can do that in the rear as well. Now, also, I probably should explain to you guys why there's plastic on the tires. Now, the way a go-kart works is that, as you see, there's no suspension, unlike your car. So the chassis actually flexes to help you get through the corner. Now, if you were to take the cart off the stand and literally turn the wheel all the way to one direction, you would see that the cart would teeter because ultimately it's on three wheels. Now, all the extra caster, it actually, when you turn the wheel, it actually plants into the ground to help lift the cart through the corner. You know, and when we get to the back, I'll continue why this is important. And actually, well, I'll take the plastic off for you guys. And you can see there's wear holes actually in the tire. You can't really see the other one because of the grass, but here's another one right here. You'll notice the inside is actually a bit more worn out than the outside. When the cart goes through the corner and it flexes, it tilts, like, you know, the tire tilts and you have the camber. The camber effect obviously wears out the inside. And well, the reason why they're wrapped up is because it's winter time and I like the tires to be fresh when I use them, or as fresh as can be when I use them in a few months. And pro tip for the day, one thing you can do to extend the life of your tire is actually, when it gets to this point where the inside is worn out more than the outside, you can actually just take the tire off and flip it on the rim. So essentially you take it off like this and you would put it on the other side, so that now the side that has all the meat would be on the inside, and you can actually evenly wear both sides of the tire and get your money's worth. So now we'll make our way to the middle of the cart. You have your seat, of course, you have your steering wheel, and you have your engine right here. So this is a 125cc Rotax Max. This is what we use in the senior class, also the master's class if you're a slightly older gentleman or woman. It revs to, well, a little bit over 15,000 RPMs. It makes around 30 horsepower, and it's a sealed engine, so it's supposed to make it cheaper so that ultimately there's not a lot of fettling with it and helps reduce cost. Now, some of the adjustments you can make is you can actually change the jets within the carburetor. There's one jet that you're allowed to change, at least where I race. Now, ultimately, that just controls the amount of fuel that's going into the engine. You can also move this screw as well, which helps control the amount of air and gas going in. Now, in terms of gearing, you have your sprocket back here. It's covered up by my chain guard. And then you have the gear that comes out of the clutch. So this comes in various sizes. And of course, this comes in various sizes as well. You change it, of course, depending on track conditions, the track you're at in general. You know, some days if the track is gripped up a little bit more or gripped or not as sticky, you might want to make an adjustment to that and make sure you're getting off the corner. And then also to things like weight come into account with which sprocket you'd like to use. Now lastly, we'll make our way to the back of the cart. So as you'll see, when you look back here, there is no differential. It is just literally a solid axle. And that's one of the things that takes some getting used to, definitely, when you go from cars to karts, is that, yeah, there's no differential. Your car has a differential. So,
what's a differential?
Oh, so the way a differential works is that when you go around the corner, it makes one wheel spin faster than the other to help you get around the corner. You don't have this. In this case, both of the wheels always spin at the same speed. Now, when you're driving a go-kart, you don't want to turn the wheel and floor the cart, especially in more so in tight corners, because the cart really doesn't like it. So what happens is when you go into the corner, especially if it's a tight one, when you turn the wheel, the term is called jacking. So the rear wheel will come off the ground and it will allow you to help pivot around the corner. And then as soon as you hit the gas, the wheel will come back down and the cart just wants to go straight. So some of the things you could do, depending on, once again, the conditions of the track, your driving style and whatnot, is you can actually change the stiffness of the axle. You might want to go softer, you might want to go stiffer. Think about it in this way: if you went stiffer, just like a breaker bar, it can help give you more leverage to get the wheel off the ground. Okay. Now, other things you can do: some people choose to cut their axles, which has to do with the stability of the cart. But there is a maximum width that your wheels can be, and I believe it is 55 inches. All right, guys, so that is the first video, just giving a general talk about how the go-kart works. I do plan on doing a few more videos like this over the off season, just to give you guys some more content and some more insight into what it's like to drive a go-kart. Now, what you guys could do is comment below so I know what you want to hear. And then that way I can definitely make some videos about that. Other than that, please stay tuned to the podcast. You know, we have a lot of guests coming on, and it's going to be a good year for that. We got some other things that we're working on as a group that's going to be pretty cool. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.